Welcome to the Build with Boundaries podcast. My name is Manaz, and this podcast is for mums who want to carve out time so that you can work in ways that work for you, your life, your family, and of course your business. Together, we will discover why you are not prioritising your business and the actions that you can take so you can live an intentional, productive, and fulfilled life without mum guilt. So let's dive in to today's episode. Welcome to episode 41. So boosting efficiency and focus. It's so important to feel like you have created a space where you can be focused, because there's just so many things around us that can be distracting. This is the second episode in the new series that I'm covering to help you create a more blissful business. Now, if you want to boost your efficiency and focus, we need to start with first where we work and the actual physical workspace. What does that look like? What do you have going on around you? And is it set up in a way that is going to help you to be more creative and focused? Having things that are more clean and tidy and organized is going to be helpful. Of course it is. And not having clutter and things around that take our attention away is very important, because when you are working, you do want to take that single task and focus on it and make progress. And decluttering what's around you, maybe things that don't need to be there, maybe things that are used more often being closer to you, and things that are less used can get put away, or having sort of a systemization of where those things live. Creating an optimal kind of way of accessing the things you need. Now, there are lots of productivity tools and apps and lots of tech that comes in that can be very helpful too, but I think it's very important to just start with the simple things. So firstly, I think looking at your desk, your environment, have you got drawers, have you got storage, have you got everything out, or is it organized? Files, do you have physical ones or digital ones? If you have more digital things, which is definitely much more common, they can also be organized in a way where you create a file structure. You have a logical design to this folder structure. You can use cloud spaces for storage. You can have different naming conventions for your files that help you to find things more easily. Again, just making sure the things that you need access to more often are perhaps in one place and easy to access, and it makes sense where you would find them. So creating a plan with that in mind, and just being able to change those things as you need in your business too, because things will evolve, and something that you use a lot today, you may not use a lot next year. I think that can be a tricky one, because there's not really any urgency to tidy those things up that you're not using, if that makes sense. But if that's affecting what you have available, it could be affecting how much storage space you have as well. So it could even impact on your costs and things later, because you might have to go for paid storage, and it's not something that you necessarily have to do, or perhaps you could delay it a bit more if you tidied up what you had. Now, if you want to boost your efficiency and focus, another area that I think is really important to talk about here is techniques that you can use to minimize your distractions, because focus will only grow where distractions are reduced, or if possible, completely minimized or eradicated. There are so many different tech things that can be helpful here as well. But again, I would say use things that will be helpful to you. You can get swamped with all the tech as it is. But what's really powerful about tech is the tech is ever evolving. And we're at the stage where we now have tech to control tech. So if you look at your phone, there will be apps and things that will help you to block notifications, manage your do not disturb times, manage notifications, block things that don't come up, or set specific times where you are working and where you're not working, and that kind of thing. So they can all be really helpful. There is a lot of things that they are, but it's more recognizing what things would make a difference to you. So next time you feel that you're not feeling focused, ask yourself why, and ask yourself what's triggering that. And is it something that's physical? Is it like the physical workspace and that aspect? Is it that you haven't done enough planning or writing down of things that ideas that you have? So your head feels like it's holding everything in there. All these things can be helpful because it's like taking that burden off and unloading what's in your head so that you can relax and you know that there is a plan. That's why having a plan is really important, because then you're picking up the things that are in your head and you're creating some kind of plan around that. So it's really important to firstly get those things out of your mind, and then secondly to work on them. So what would be helpful for you, sometimes it's a good idea to have one particular time, or perhaps when you're about to finish your working week, is just have a little bit of time in your diary. For example, I would say 15 minutes max. You may not even need 15 minutes. And if you block that time and all you do then is look at what you've done this week. So it's a mixture of looking back at this week to see what needs to be carried forward next week, and taking a moment to realize what you have done as well. I think that is super, super important, because we're really good at looking at what we haven't done, and we don't spend enough time looking at what we have done. So then looking forward to the next week, perhaps looking at your online calendar or your physical diary, or a combination of both, whatever that is for you, and just taking a note, looking at what you have set up for next week and building a little plan into that in terms of where your focus needs to be. And I'd recommend just writing down, say, 3 things that you would be really happy if you could make progress or accomplish or take to the next level by the end of next week. So they're not things that you have to do because of a routine you already have. These things are like extras, and they are things that will help you to make progress on the stuff that you really want to do. So just popping that down, and then when you switch off work mode and switch your laptop off or close your diary, you already have a set plan for the next week. And that's going to help you in so many ways, because firstly, you are going to enjoy the weekend more. Simply that. When we take a break, we're not always 100% there, but we need to be. So we can only do that if we end the chapter with a plan of what we're going to do next. So it's almost like, think about the weeks that you're working in your business as chapters. When you finish that chapter, it's fine where you got to, but you need to draw a line and you need to just make a mini plan of what you want to do the next week. You close your books, you close your diary, you switch off mentally because you have already made a plan, and feel more relaxed and confident about that. Then in your weekend, you can do the activities, spend family time, do all the things, and not be stressing or worrying in your mind about what you have on, because Monday morning, you go open your diary and it's there and you just get on with it. So it really does boost efficiency in the sense that when you stop, you're able to detach. And when you come back stronger. And I think that's what I really want to emphasize in this episode, because that is the difficult thing between finding that bliss. It's like you want to enjoy both. And how do you enjoy both? Sometimes we have to park things because, that's life. We always have to work in segments and in parts. A lot of work that we do is more like a project. So you're never going to end it by carrying on working. But when you pause it in a way that you're driven to do the next thing. And that's what I'd love for you to have a think about. How can you incorporate this more? Now, you can use things like Pomodoro technique as well, which is very helpful for increasing productivity. And here, when you are working on anything, you set a timer for 25 minutes. You work with laser focus on that one thing, and you are not allowed to work on anything else. So you have to make sure that you already have your notifications off. There's no sounds, there's no distractions, there's no things getting in your way to call for your attention. And then when you finish the 25 minutes, you take a 5-minute break. And you will be surprised at how much work you can do in 25 minutes when you give yourself permission and you also set the intention that you are simply picking this one thing up and working on it for 25 minutes. A great way to try it out would be to pop it in your diary now and just put Pomodoro next to a task that you have coming up. And when you do come to doing that, put the timer on, pop it on, and see for yourself. How do you feel when you do that and when you use it? There are other apps and things as well, so there's definitely more easy ways for doing the Pomodoro technique as well. And if you like having a bit of noise when you work, you can sometimes, in some of these apps, you can have a clock ticking, for example. Some people don't like to have that sound. You could put your own music on, you could do whatever you want, but the main thing is that you are focused on one thing and one thing only. And when you set that intention, you will surprise yourself at how much you can get done. So good luck with that. So I am looking to connect with mums who are wanting to create more bliss in their business and create more harmony and impact. Sometimes it feels like you are juggling all the things and doing lots and lots of things and not really moving forward, and you're not where you would like to be in your business. Then get in touch with me and let me know. You can visit buildwithboundaries.com. I have some spaces opening up for one-to-ones, and the Build with Boundaries Academy is also open. So if there's support you're needing there, then do get in touch. Happy to have a conversation to see if anything I have is going to be helpful for you. So until next time, take care.